Okay, everybody, welcome to the Nutrition Startup Zoom. We are doing for the start of January 2020. It's a very exciting time for everybody, lots of goal setting. We have a couple new programs coming out, and it's a great time to freshen up on nutrition and kind of relook at kind of where we are with things. Even if you
Come in
followed
there with you.
in the past, we'll have everybody mute their lines here. Let me see if I can mute. There we go. Okay. So even if you've done this nutrition in the past, it's never a bad time to get a refresher. Sometimes you hear something that you haven't heard before. Sometimes it's like, let me get this out here. Sometimes it's just like sparking a little bit of a spark in your belly about trying to like just clean it up and do better. So I will record this call for anybody that is not on, but just like as a background, like it's not all about losing weight. I know you guys know this. We talk about this all the time, but you want to really fuel your body for life. I know for sure that when my nutrition is not good, my workouts suck, I'm crabby, my sleep sucks, everything just gets affected by it. And then when you really notice a difference is when you really clean it up. And that means getting rid of all the sugars. That means drinking less in my case, drinking more water, doing all the things that make you feel better just in life in general. If you've really honed in on your nutrition in the past and you've seen a difference from this, that for me personally is a reason to move forward with it. This past summer when I was running more and trying to train for the 10K, this was like a big thing for me to stay on track because I literally could not run more than a couple miles without like having a near-death experience when my nutrition sucked. Like if I ate like crap the day before, I ate a bunch of greasy food at night, if we got takeout or something, it directly affected my performance. And that's one really great reason to keep going forward. Also, if you have whatever your goals are, whether they're weight loss, gains, maintenance, whatever, this can help get you there no matter what. You'll feel better. And then also as a preventative medicine, I'm not going to dive too deep into this because it's a rabbit hole, but all of the things that we see out in the mainstream right now, or if you're in healthcare like I am, I don't see it as much because I do pediatrics, but we do have some older peds kids that come in with type 2 diabetes. Or, if you have a parent or a loved one, or maybe you struggle yourself with something that is preventative that you could fix with diet and nutrition, you know how important this is. And for me, it's like, I influence people on social media as a coach, but also I influence people in my family, people in my household to live better, do better, eat better, all of those things. And that is a big deal. Beachbody has a lot of options for nutrition. These are kind of upgrades from the Beachbody nutrition that we're going to be talking about today. When I first started Beachbody a year and a half ago, we had the portion fix. It wasn't like an upgrade ultimate portion fix package. It was basically you get containers with every pack that you buy and you follow them and you get results. And that's what I've always followed. Now we have something called ultimate portion fix where you can get an upgrade on your challenge pack and it gives you about 30 informational videos about why you're eating these things, what really breaks it down. From the creator, Autumn. She's the creator of 21 Day Fix, 80 Day Obsession, all of that. She made this program for more information. And then there's also 2B Mindset. It's a different way of eating than measuring out portions in the containers. It's basically like a plate method. So it's looking down at your plate every day, portioning out what you're eating, drinking a ton of water, tracking your weight every single day. And it's more of a mindset thing. It's less of a like, these are the portions, this is how many you're eating. You know what I mean? So it's more, breaks it down that way. So these are two options for you guys if you feel like you're still struggling after you try to hone in with the Beachbody Nutrition Guide. If you want more information, if you want to level up in either of these ways, you can. And then obviously Shakeology. I feel like we don't talk about this enough in our group, but it's so important because if you go to Costco or Walmart today and you go down the supplement aisle and you'll see a bag of whey protein. It's probably $19.99 for 30 or 40 servings. And that is just whey protein. If any of you have drank Shakeology in the past, you look at the Shakeology label on the bag, you will see how many other things that are in Shakeology that maybe you don't even know what they are, but these are things that are Shakeology is preventative medicine. It is not only protein. It is not only aminos, but it's also probiotics, prebiotics that make probiotics happen. It has so many vitamins, nutrients, greens, mushroom blends, so many things that can make a big difference in not only your overall health, but your gut health too. And that's kind of where everything stems from. Um, so first I want to talk about the Beachbody Nutrition app. If you guys aren't using this, you need to. I've always been a pen and paper person. Like I like having the little tracker. I have about 15 of them here from different programs that we've done. But in realistic life, when I'm not working at home and I'm at the hospital or we're out to dinner and I want to track it there, I don't have my tracker with me. And for me, if I don't write it down, it's like easier for me to fall off track because I'm not being accountable for writing it down. Even if it's something bad, even if I had French fries, you know, if I write it in the tracker and I account for it somewhere, it makes a difference for me and my brain to be like, okay, Ashley, quit it and get your life together. So this is a free app. It's only for Apple right now. If you have an Android, you can get Beachbody On Demand app and go to tracking that way. But this app, you get in, you can it'll have you set up whether you're doing 2B Mindset or the container system or the color-coded system is what I like to call it now if you're not doing Ultimate Portion Fix. But you set up how much you weigh, what your weight loss goals are. And then when you get to the main page of this dashboard, this little pen shape here is where you can modify your containers. So if you're eating in plan A, B, whatever, we're going to go over that in a minute, you can modify how many containers you're going to have per day and then just tack them off as you go. And one thing I love about this is that, you know, I'm not always the best at tracking my water on here because I usually like fill up my blender bottle and like drink at least 3 of those per day. And that's in my mind what I'm drinking. But this is a great way if you're having like different containers, you're out and about, you know, if you're not like the stored in your brain kind of person like I am, you can check your water here. If you're doing frequent weights, you can do it here. For me, do it with weights. I do it at the beginning of the program and then whatever milestones come in the program. So sometimes like with Morning Meltdown, you do it with the different phases. With the work, you do it probably halfway in and at the end. With Bar Blend, we're probably going to do it halfway in and at the end. Usually the trainer within the program will let you know when you should reweigh yourself. Or if you feel like you need to do it or you want to, you can, but I don't want you all to be fixated on this because the more you can be consistent, especially with what we're talking about today, the better. Nothing else really matters besides that. You can track your Shakeology here, and then you can be as specific as what exactly you're going to eat. So if you track that you had a green, a purple, and a red for breakfast, you can put in here how much what exactly you ate if that helps you. Some people don't need that, some people do, but it's an option for you. And then also when you click on each one of these colored tiles, it'll tell you a food list of what it is. So this is really great for the grocery store, especially if you're new and you're not familiar with the food list. If you click on it, it will pull up a whole list of what every single green is so that when you're there, you can be like, okay, I need another green. I don't know what it is. You don't have to log into Beachbody On Demand, go all the way to the nutrition, go to the PDF that I sent you, whatever. You just go right in there and click on it and it works. Another cool thing is that when you scroll down, it's not on this picture, but if you scroll down, there's a recipes button at the bottom. It'll take you right into the Beachbody blog, which we're going to talk about more, but that is an invaluable resource for recipes, tips, tricks on meal prep. There's specific meal plans and guides for whatever plan you're in, and that's really helpful. So next I want to go into the Beachbody Nutrition Guide. This is what I'm recommending everybody use, no matter what program you're doing. If you're not using Ultimate Portion Fix or 2B Mindset, I recommend using this. This is how I got all of my results from the beginning, and it's really great. And so let's just hop in. There's a table of contents, which is not really what we need right now. So this is where you're going to find your meal plan. So if you are in a weight loss category, you are looking to lose weight, you want to follow this to a T. So if I weigh 150 pounds, I would technically be in plan A. If et cetera, you can read what it is above. But if you are looking to maintain weight, or if you're breastfeeding, you want to go up one from whatever plan it is telling you. So if I was breastfeeding, I would go up to plan B. And then the same for muscle gains. So muscle gains, you mostly want to go up 2 categories, but with the gains, it's more of feeling out your body, right? You're going to probably do more weights just because you want to track what your gains are going to be if you are trying to build muscle. So this is what I follow. These are the numbers that you plug into your tracker, what I told you with the little pen. For some of you, it might seem like a lot of food, like how am I supposed to get 4, 5, 6 servings of veggies in? You just have to do your best, because if you're coming into this, you don't have any background with nutrition, you have been eating like shit for the past however long, you're going to be like, oh my God, how am I going to get all this in? And that's okay. It's not going to be perfect at the beginning. It usually is not, but you just have to try. A great way to get in veggies when people are struggling with this is I sub cauliflower rice for regular rice. I put frozen cauliflower rice or spinach in my shake. We have a supplement called Power Greens. That's another way to get veggies in your shake. Try to eat vegetables for every single meal. That's another thing that I do. Even for breakfast, when it seems hard, it's really great for your gut to have that fiber and that water content to help you stay full throughout the day. But it's also important so that you can get in all of your greens. And I will tell you there are a lot of mornings where I just have my protein waffle and I just have my eggs and I don't put my greens in there, and I like save them all to the end of the day. And that's like the worst, like not the worst, like for your health. I mean, yes, you're still getting it in, but it's so hard to eat 3 or 4 servings of greens at the end of the day than it is to try to space them out throughout the day, and you stay more full. So try to do that. We'll go over some more tips as we go through. Talking about the nutritionals, any of our nutritional performance line supplements are free unless they're Shakeology and Beach Bar. Shakeology counts as a 1 red portion. So if it's 1 scoop out of a big bag or 1 packet, if you're doing the packets, counts as a red. That's with nothing else added into it. A Beach Bar is a half of a yellow and a half of a red in a teaspoon. So a Beach Bar is a great snack. At the beginning, when we first launched the Beach Bars, I'm like, there's no way I'm using a carb on that. I need to save my carbs for other times of the day. But these are actually a really great snack option, and it is a great sweet tooth kicker because they're good. And mostly chocolate. We do have a vegan version now too. If you're using any of the performance line like Recover, Energize, Hydrate, Recharge, these are all free. They do not count into your color-coded containers at all. If you're using Energize, I usually have mine 20 to 30 minutes before my workout, mixed in some water, or just dumped straight in my mouth. If you're doing it that way, I just like get it in the middle of your tongue and drink a glass of water. The only time I usually do that is if it's a bad day for me, or if I am going to go for a run and I don't want like a large amount of water volume in my stomach because I'm going to be out there and I'll probably puke it up. So then I'll do it that way. But otherwise, in water is great. Also, if you are an afternoon workout person or a night workout person, if you like energy drinks, like the carbonation of energy drinks, Beachbuddies Energize is really great in LaCroix or bubbly or whatever sparkling you have, any flavor. It is so good. That's kind of what I do sometimes before dinner if I'm trying to get through my life as a mother. As far as Recover goes, you want to drink this 30 to 40 minutes after your workout. It's going to help with muscle recovery and repair. It has amino acids and protein in it. Great as a shake, blended. Great shaken up with water. Great as a pudding. So what we do for the pudding is we usually just put it in a little bowl, add tiny bits of water into it until it makes literally like a brownie batter consistency. Dip your fruit in it. You can just dip your fruit in there. You just eat it as is. That's a huge sweet tooth buster right there. But always after your workout, and it'll help stay less sore. I notice a big difference with that one. And then some of the other ones that we don't talk about as much, recharges. If you're if you're training for something like a marathon or something, you need extra hydration, you take this at night. It helps build up your cells and gives you some more protein so that your muscles can recover while you're asleep. Hydrate is something that I use almost every day. It is like a Gatorade, a healthy version of Gatorade. If you look at Gatorade in the store, it's either the zero kind that has artificial flavors in it, or it's the kind that has a ton of sugar in it that I wouldn't even let my kids drink it at this point. But Hydrate is a lot less sugar. I think there's 9 grams of carbs in it, 10 grams of carbs, but I actually mix this with my Energize in the morning before my workout. It just helps keep you more hydrated. It's also really great for a hangover. Creatine is obviously for muscle growth and gains if you're interested in that. So these are the food lists. They're all here. You guys, if you're bored with your meal plan, if you've been doing this already and you're like, God, I'm so sick of this food, you shouldn't be, because there's like so many options. Like okra, when was the last time you had that? Or, If you are like a cucumber person, I'm a cucumber person, maybe you switch it up and you have something else that's on this list. But like, go back to the food list. If you're ever like getting bored or you feel like you're eating the same thing all the time, there are way too many options to be eating the same thing all the time. If you're a picky eater and you're like, I don't like any of these vegetables, why am I going to follow this? Because it's good for you, and it's time to be an adult, right? I'm sorry, it's true, but sometimes people tell me that they don't like vegetables, and it's important that you have them. So find something that you like, try some new things, not all of them at the same time, but like, it is important. And they are organized by nutritional value. So things that are at the top of the list are more nutritious than things that are at the bottom. So raspberries are better than jackfruit, and blueberries are better than anything below it. So what I want to say about this is that I highly recommend having a wide variety of things off of this list. But if the only thing that you keep eating is, I don't know, let's see. If the only fruit you eat is applesauce, that's the problem right there. So you want to eat a variety of things. Yes, you can have applesauce, it's on the list, but you want to have things that are all over this list because you want to have a well-rounded nutritional plan. Same with everything else that's on here. Proteins are categorized the same way. I don't know anybody that eats sardines. I don't think I even want to try those. But everything else, it's just mixing it up and finding what works for you. The carbs are a big one for people because they're like, you can still have potatoes. You can still have sweet potatoes. One thing that I really like to have in the morning is a Kodiak waffle. I know you guys have heard me talk about this, life-changing. Just because it replaces that kind of sweet thing in the morning. You have your sweet waffle that's usually like buttermilk or dark chocolate chip mixed with your salty egg and whatever vegetable you have. It's like the perfect combination in my eyes. So I eat that very often, but I also make sure, because this waffle is lower on my food list, I make sure my other carbs throughout the day are good ones. Like for dinner, it's usually a potato, some sort. I usually put them in the air fryer, or I have sweet potatoes. Same with like quinoa or beans. Usually my other carbs are very good and at the top of the list. So to make sure that it's well-rounded, like we talked about. Healthy fats. This is something to keep an eye on for sure, because it's so easy to overeat on this. Like I can think back to many times where I ate an entire bag of like almonds that was probably like, if a serving of almonds is 12, I mean, it had to be like 100, and it's like healthy fats are important. Like they are energy for your body to use during your workouts, during life, whatever, but it is easy to go overboard with them. This meal plan is like it's almost like a bodybuilder meal plan. I don't say that to intimidate you, but what it is it's medium protein, medium carbs, low fat, but you're still having fats, but it's a way for your body to shred the fat, building muscle. And I mean, that's most people's goal. Oils and nut butters. One thing I want to say about this is that definitely measure it. But if you're using one thing that Autumn says, the creator of this, is that if you use a oil spray, like if you use it like less than 5 little squirts of it, you don't have to count it. So that's what I do almost all the time, so that I can save my teaspoons for my nut butters, because I love peanut butter on my waffles, in a spoon when I'm feeling hangry, any of those things. So just keep an eye on it. Seeds and dressings is an orange container. So you do not have to eat salads every day. If you choose to, great. There are a lot of really great salad recipes that you can try. If you've been like, a lot of people come to me and they're a little bit traumatized by different diets that they've done in the past, where they're only eating salads all day and they're so sick of it and yada, yada, yada. You don't always have to eat salads. But another great way to get your seeds and dressings in is if you're roasting vegetables. Putting a little bit of vinaigrette on the vegetables, so good. I roasted some Brussels sprouts last week, and we put like a little bit of lemon vinaigrette on them when they were done. A whole new level flavor profile. It was so good. Another thing is that you can snack on pumpkin or sunflower seeds. Sometimes when I'm making dinner and the kids are eating their food and I'm tempted to eat their dino nuggets, I'll snack on some of these seeds if I'm not going to be having the dressing for dinner. And it's a great way to tide you over, keep your mouth busy with the chewing, or whatever. And then the coconut, unsweetened coconut, if you're into it, maybe you should get into it, because I have some in my fridge, because if I don't have my orange container for the day, I'll snack on that when I'm on my way upstairs to go to bed, just because it's like a satisfying thing. It's a tiny bit sweet. It seems like a treat, and it's a good way to get your orange in. So these are like healthy fats that are important. So these are not the only healthy fats you're eating. You're getting healthy fats from your oils and nut butters and from your seeds. And Autumn says that one thing that you can do is that you can swap your blues for oranges occasionally, not all the time. Basically, the macros are similar to the same. So when you hear two people talk about macros, it's like, what is the fat? What are the carbs? What are the saturated fat? What is the protein? All of the things that are on the nutrition label, basically. So people that count macros, they're looking at those numbers and tallying them up throughout the day to hit whatever goal they're trying to do. So as far as macros go with this, the macros of these two things are pretty similar. But like I said, you want to keep them separate, but occasionally you can sub those. And then free foods, water, lemon, lime juice, vinegars, mustards, you can read it, herbs. Last night I had some broth because I'm on the 3-day refresh and I put a little bit of parsley on top. It tasted like, I don't know, it was so good. Maybe just because I was hungry, but any spices, garlic, ginger, green onion, it's all there. I was like previously a very ranch dipper, want all the dips. I have changed my flavor profile of my life to be hot sauce or mustard at this point, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. Occasionally I'll have like a tiny bit of ketchup, which is not on this list, but not often. When you're making your Shakeology, you want to keep in mind that the things that you're putting in it do count. So I always put frozen fruit in my Shakeology, and always. So I barely ever have Shakeology on its own. Okay, I like that one. So these are all 8 ounces. So these are all 8 ounces. So Autumn says that I usually do like half almond milk, half water. So if you're doing half and half, like 4 ounces, 4 ounces, because if you think about like this almond milk, 8 ounces of almond milk is actually like 30 calories. It's super benign. It's not going to make or break your day. So what I would do is do half and half, and you don't have to worry about counting it. Also with the fruit, make sure you're counting your fruit towards your Okay, so there are a couple sample meal plans on here. If you check out, like it'll just lays it out for you. Like if you're having, you can have Shakeology and with grapes. You can have smoked salmon and rice cake. This is kind of a weird one. I don't know anybody that's eating smoked salmon as a snack, but go for it if you like it. So there are a lot of examples here. There are a ton of examples in the Beachbody blog, which I'm going to show you right now. But there's also recipes in here too. Sometimes just looking at the recipe and like, maybe you see this egg and veggie scramble. You see that it has eggs, egg whites. You see that there's onion and green bell pepper and tomato in it. Maybe you don't like green bell pepper. Sub it for something you do, like put, I don't know, anything. If you like mushrooms, put mushrooms in there instead of bell peppers. You can sub out little things that are equivalent and still get the same nutritional value out of it. But look through the recipes. What I do at the beginning of the week, basically, is I get a notebook or get my planner, usually my notebook, and I make a list of things I'm going to make. And from that list, I either make a grocery list or I go into my grocery delivery app and I put whatever I need for the recipes on there. It's quick. It's right there. And then when it comes to Wednesday and I'm due to make whatever, I have everything that I need, and it doesn't trip me up. It's saying like, damn it, I don't have my lemons and I don't have the cilantro, so I can't make that. Let's get takeout. It doesn't put me in that situation. It's more of I have everything I need, so there's nothing that's going to stop me from doing this. Also, you guys, like, people have a big misconception about like healthy eating, going to the grocery store, how it's more expensive. It is not. Literally, the night before the cleanse, I'm going to have an honest moment. I wanted to get Thai food and sushi because I am like tightened up now. We're not going back to this crap eating that we've been doing. So I went to the sushi place, and literally the 3 people in front of me had orders for 2, and each of them spent over $60 for dinner for one night. It's crazy. It's so expensive when you go out to eat and you're getting takeout and all of that stuff. Like, if you really get some perspective and look at it that way, it's crazy. But the recipes in here are great. I want to pop over to Beachbody On Demand because this is where you're going to get all of your other stuff. Let's see. So if you go to Beachbody On Demand, not only are you going to be able to get into your workouts, but you can also go to our nutrition, which is here. It's going to give you options to go into the nutrition programs if you have that, but if you don't, there is our Fixate cooking channel, which is pure gold. So this was created with the color-coded system in mind. There are videos here to watch, like them making it if you want. It's created by Autumn, the creator, and her brother. He's a chef. But you can also go to resources and go to recipes and go to the recipe list. This recipe list is gold. Like if you take the time to go in it, pick something new you want to make, maybe you pick a recipe that's meal plan approved, make a double portion of it, like a double batch, and save it for your meal prep. There you go. You have meal prep for at least a couple meals for the week. So it's broken down into first of all, it's an index. So it's a listed index of what's in here. It's a lot of stuff. Pick something, click on it. And then once you get there, it's going to tell you what it is, how many servings it is, how long it's going to take you, the container amounts, like what it is as far as like if it's a purple, a yellow, whatever. It's going to tell you if it's gluten-free, vegan, or vegetarian, which if you're following any of those, it's there. And then some things are specific for 80-day obsession. So if you're doing time nutrition, which is a whole nother call in itself, this is telling you that it's 80-day obsession approved. So if I go down to this list and I feel like I want to make, let's see, what have I made? Portobello mushroom and goat cheese omelet. Goat cheese up my alley. So I'm going to go to it and it tells me the container count. It tells me what I need for it. It gives me the instructions and any like variations that you could do. Like it's telling you now that if you don't like portobello mushrooms, you can use red bell peppers and grated cheese instead of goat cheese. You can use spinach and feta. You can use broccoli and cheddar, whatever. So it gives you all those things. And then it gives you the macros at the bottom too. If you just want to know, if you're trying to like get more knowledge on it, if you're following a sodium restriction or anything like that, it's all there on the bottom. This is a invaluable resource. Next is the Beachbody blog here at the top. I don't feel like this is used enough at all, but there is so much stuff in here, you guys. Like if you are seriously like, let me search, if I can get to the search bar. So if you are in, say you are eating in Plan A. I just typed Plan A in the search bar. And it's gonna give you meal plans, like literally meal prep for Plan A. Plant-based meal prep for Plan A. It's all here. Like you just have to take the time to go in here and check it out and see what's going to help you. If you need help with, I don't know, let's see, meal prep tips. Type in meal prep tips. And here they are. Easy, clean eating meal prep tips for beginners, 10 meal prep tips when you're getting bored. Like there is so much information. So that's that. Let me go back to my slides. So Beachbody Nutrition, as far as meal prep goes, let's just build on that. So simplifying and not overcomplicating, especially in the beginning, especially if you suck at cooking in your mind, you suck at cooking, or maybe you actually do, I don't know. But so many people I talk to say that they are not cooks, they don't cook at home. It's about simplifying. Like think back to like when you first thought that you needed to follow a nutrition plan and what you would eat. When I think of that, I would think of baked chicken, salads, veggies, like stir fry, something like that. Simplify it. Make those things for at least for the first week. Show yourself that you can do it. Get some confidence behind your nutrition. Like make some baked chicken. Have your husband go out and turn on the grill and make some grilled anything. Cut it up, put it in your fridge, and eat it throughout the week. It's only going to be complicated if you make it complicated. That being said, if you go into the Fixate recipe list and pick some of the most complicated things that each have like 25 ingredients to it, not the best way to start if you're a beginner. Best way to start is to get the simple things. Steam some vegetables. Have them available in your fridge so that you can just grab and go. Number 2, pick a meal type of meal prep that works for you. So there's a couple ways that people like to do this. The first way is pick one day where you're hunkered down in your kitchen for an hour or two making things. You make a bunch of hard-boiled eggs. You get the little portion containers and make them all so that you're just grabbing them out of the fridge and as you go along. You can pick any type of meal prep that you want. So that's one way, is making like the actual portioned containers the way you want and having them grab and go. Another way is making big batches of things so that you can portion out things along the way. And this is kind of what I do, because what I do is I make extra dinners. In my house, It's just me and Mikey that eat our dinners. The kids eat separate things because that's another issue in itself. But so when I make us tacos for dinner, I make extra meat because I want that meat to eat throughout the day. When we make grilled chicken on the grill or kebabs or something like that, I'll make extra so that I can put that and grab it throughout the week. It's only hard if you make it hard. So that's another way to go is you can get the portion containers. They're cheap on Amazon. They're cheap at Walmart, wherever you go. Make your meals for the week and have them a grab and go, or make big batches of things so that you can portion things out, because I like to do that because I don't want to eat the same exact thing for 5 days in a row. I like to have the option of maybe I want to have the grilled chicken that I made on a salad. Maybe I want to have the grilled chicken I made on a wrap. Maybe I want to have some grilled chicken sprinkled on an omelet. Whatever, having the big batches lets you decide on the fly. But if you have a busy life where you're packing the kids' lunch, going to bed, getting up, getting the kids ready to school, like doing all of those things that like throw you behind and would likely make you skip breakfast, not pack your lunch, maybe the container system would be better for you to make sure that you do have something where you could just grab and go throughout the week. Use the resources that we talk about, Beachbody blog, Fixate, Pinterest is really great. You guys, this system has been around for a while, and it's a benefit to you, to me, to everyone that uses it, because if you go on Pinterest, literally, and if you're in plan A, plan B, C, D, whatever, type in plan D recipes, millions of pins. I'm serious. Like a lot of my recipes come from Pinterest. Another thing that I do on Pinterest is not only look for like Fixate 21-day fix recipes, is I look for Whole30, I look for paleo, because those recipes are clean. They don't have a bunch of added crap in them. They don't have the creamy milk, whatever recipes, like it's clean things. And then I can like tweak them to be what I want. Like say I find a recipe for like a casserole that's paleo that I can eat. It's on the meal, like it has all ingredients that are on the meal plan. Figure out a way to portion it out to make it a meal, and you're golden. A great resource. And then number 4, give yourself some grace. Like I talked about with like trying to fit in all the veggies, trying to fit in everything when you're not used to eating that way. Like it's not going to be perfect at the beginning. It's going to take some time, but once you get a groove going, it's going to be like normal life. Like this nutrition plan is my everyday life, and I don't even have to think about it. I mean, sometimes I track it if I'm like, have been kind of falling off track a little bit. I'll get back to my tracker. I'll plug everything in because it keeps me accountable for myself. And that helps me kick it back into gear. But for the most part, I don't even need to track because I've been eating this way for a year and a half. It's ingrained in my brain. And like if we are having lunch and everybody in the house is eating chips, it's like not even in my brain to eat that because it's not a meal plan. It's just not what I eat. Like it's not how I go. And I'd rather use my carbs for something that's going to make me full, not make me have a big sugar crash, and make me feel better. So that's what I have to say about that. Lastly, questions. Does anybody have questions? I'm going to stop my share and see if anybody has a question for me. Anything? No? No. Okay. So I'm going to stop recording now.